some things that God was sharing with me this morning, things that I was meditating on as I was, getting ready this morning, was how this month of ER is the second month. So it is a connecting month to the first and the third. It's associated with the Hebrew letter that is a connecting letter. And God was telling me and giving me a download about how this also is symbolic of how this month is a month of divine connection. So I believe that this month, some of us will experience divine connections, this being a connecting month. And so we may be approached by kingdom helpers, people who are a part of your tribe, people who are in alignment with your calling. That had me begin to think about people who are not aligned, right? And how God has been revealing hearts, right? Before he elevates you, before you come into greater blessing and responsibility, he has to get rid of anything that would try to steal or to keep you from accessing these blessings and these divine connections, right? We cannot receive what is aligned for us while still holding hands with things that are not aligned for us. And so it had me thinking about this whole destiny swapping, destiny thieves, and energy vampires, these people who are attracted to us, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly, or they're doing it like out of the subconscious wound, or whether they're literally witches and warlocks. But you don't have to be a witch or a warlock to operate in witchcraft, because manipulation is likened into witchcraft, and disobedience is likened to witchcraft in the Word of God. So people are operating in witchcraft, and a lot of Christians are operating in witchcraft, and they don't even perceive it. But then you have the people operating and very aware and strategic and just part of the kingdom of darkness that know what they're doing. And even some people who are believers know what they're doing. They just deceive themselves, and they're narcissistic, and they convince themselves of a lie to justify the manipulation and the evil behaviors that they do against others, right? So I was meditating on this in both forms, because I've had, and the importance of breaking free from these relationships with destiny thieves, with undercover witches and warlocks, or some of these witches and warlocks, we don't even know who they are. They just see our star. They see us through social media, or through our day-to-day, and they can see in the spirit, and they can see your star, and that is what they do. They literally prey on people, especially chosen ones, who have a powerful star. Okay, and so God is trying to give us a revelation so we can break free from these energy thieves, these destiny swappers, and so that we can also, moving forward, understand the signs and not come into or under the influence of these kinds of people. And so for me, my ex, that was the hardest lesson for me, because outwardly he played this pious, this like poor guy, like loves God, has had it hard, and would make himself out to relate to me and connect to me, and like he had my back and like my cheerleader. But there were little moments, looking back, there were little moments now that, like, when he would say certain things, I should have like paid closer attention to that, because it was like revealing his insecurity. And essentially he the whole time was very calculated and manipulative and intentional about manipulating me. He was using me the whole time from the very beginning, knowing that I was too good for him. So he came in, instead of like becoming better, because he had so much potential, right? And like, that's the other thing, like, you cannot like base something off of someone's potential. Someone can have all the potential in the world, but if they're not willing to do better, then you're wasting your time and your energy. Okay? And you're allowing someone to feed off your energy, and it's not being reciprocated back. You're not being poured back into, so you're just being depleted. And I had to come to the reality and acceptance that my ex was intentionally using me, was intentionally manipulating and lying and manipulating me, all while playing this victim and woe is me and feel sorry for me and I support you and I know you and you're this great person and all this lip service, all the while he's stabbing me in the back, and he knows it. He was doing it for the money grab. He was doing it for like my beauty. He was using my beauty to make him look better. He was using my wisdom to make him look deeper. He was using my kindness and caring nature to make himself comfortable, all the while like clapping for me and supposedly caring for me, but behind my back sabotaging me, like intentionally, strategically plotting against me, because secretly he was insecure. Secretly he hated my beauty, he hated my charm, he hated my mind, he hated that like I'm a good person. He hated that, and he hated how God would bless me. He hated that I was blessed and he could never achieve anything, because you can't achieve anything when you're doing manipulative stuff to people, when you're doing evil to people, when you're doing people wrong like that. Everything you have then has to come from some other source, because you are not connected to source, because you're willfully disobedient and acting like your father is the father of all lies and the devil. So these people then have to prey on children of God and feed off our energy. So once I accepted that there are people who can like be this way, because that's so far from my nature, like, and I could not do that to anyone that I love, you know. And this is why jealousy and envy is such an evil thing. Like literally Cain killed Abel because he was jealous. Like this goes all the way back to Genesis, and it corrupts the heart. It corrupts the heart. But I say all this to say that if you're in this kind of relationship, especially, the enemy knows that if he can get you in a romantic partner with someone like this, he can completely lock you down from walking out your destiny. And so at this time, I feel like there is so many people that are starting to wake up to this realization that the person they thought was their partner and had their back were not it. They were not it. And God is trying to reveal this, and God is trying to get us to wake up and get out of these kinds of relationships, because you're not going to be able to access the fullness of your destiny if you are stuck with this person who maybe, as I said, they're not a witch or a warlock, but they're still operating like they're one, in the sense that they are strategically and intentionally, they know what they're doing, and they continue to manipulate and play mind games and to burden you and to feed off you and your blessings, while they contribute nothing but baggage and burn out your fire and just exhaust you, right? But then we have actual witches and warlocks, and I'm going to I have the prayer against destiny thieves, which I do encourage you to do, because this month of ER is the month to understand secrets. So whatever is being done in the dark, whatever is being plotted against you, this is the perfect month for that to come to the light. And so that prayer will help those things to come to light, and also protect your destiny, your star, your scroll from these kinds of attacks. This month of ER is also a month where the Israelites were given manna from heaven. After they left out of Egypt, they ran out of the bread. So this is when God provided them manna from heaven. So supernatural provision. This is the month of supernatural provision and hidden treasure. And we spoke about that in the scriptures. It speaks of this hidden treasure being the wealth of the nations, hidden in the seas and in the sand. So hidden treasure. God cannot allow you access, or even if he does give you access to this hidden treasure, to your rewards, to your blessings, to your inheritance, if you are stuck with a destiny thief, whatever you have access to, they're there to get their hands on it. They're there to manipulate you and control you. And if they control you and manipulate you, then they control and possess the blessings, the inheritance. So this is a month of breakthrough, of revelation, of miracles, provision, treasure. But you have to get rid of these connections, and you have to address this witchcraft and break free, so that you can have the liberty to access and utilize the inheritance that God is about to hand over to his people, and for it not to be squandered. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he comes at the time of birth to try to immediately devour the blessing. This was the month as well that the Akkadians attacked God's people. So again, this all goes in alignment together. It all goes together. The enemy will come to at the time of blessing and breakthrough and freedom and inheritance, and will try to attack. But if we are wise, then we will prosper, okay? But we have to walk in wisdom. His people perish for a lack of wisdom, and the righteous are delivered through knowledge. So God is trying to give us a revelation and keep us in step with his prophetic times and seasons. So that's what I wanted to share. That's what the Lord was discussing with me this morning.